Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Ultimate Show, which is the Glamolous Ultimate. The Glamolous Ultimate is a book written by Kagawa Hiro Arms I presenting it. And here are details relating to this wonderful book, the Glamolous Ultimate, which is the happy ending. As you can see, it is a very wonderful book. And here I'm going to explain details of this book and you will understand much and more inside. As you can see, it covers much and it brings much of understanding to the life extent and life boundaries. And why we can ask the first question, Kagawa sat down pen writing this book. It is now almost 5 years in this project, generally in this book, 4 years completed. Some people can ask themselves why to sit for 4 years thinking or this, thinking that, this and that, thinking without boundary. Kagawa sat down because he was not the wonderful writer, but he was just minor writer, but he sat down to write the idea for 4 years, connecting the ideas to bring the product of this wonderful book, the Glamolous Ultimate. The Glamolous Ultimate is for you. It was for me when it was being prepared, but now it's for you. It's on market. Go demand it. It's there, showing to have a copy. Right now is the details. Details, the first instance is book description. The Glamolous Ultimate is the actual final destination of character, which shows the start, growth, and graduation of poor characters and how people can weave a character which creates happy ending and happy life. We understand. The book summary. The book is composed of 3 sections. Section 1 is made up of 3 parts. Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3. All these witnesses the actual beginning of the character. Section 2 covers 3 parts, that is Part 4, Part 5, and Part 6, testifying the growth and graduation development of characters. While Section 3 covers 3 parts too, Part 6 too, Part 7, Part 8, this gives a lesson of behavior limiting, challenge management, and behavior product conservation that all reduces poor behavior to not graduate to character and henceforth Glamolous ultimate. Motivation. Some people may ask what motivated this writer to have a certain project, or to why did I decided to make research on certain things. First, it is experience. It is deeply rooted in my own experience, grown up in impoverished families. And mine too was in that category, facing challenges of one kind and another as far as poverty is concerned. Managing the situation from poor to have and to fight to get the best needs. You know what I'm saying? From 0 francs and you get something of the value. That is education, that is shelter, food. It was not easy to manage how to eat. It was not managed by everyone. But it was not my strength, though it was my effort. To fight and have it the way it was to be. Actually, it was hard. Historical background of our country and the world at large. Historically, it is challenging to say someone is rich. You may find me rich and my grandsons poor. You know what I'm saying? You may find one generation rich, another one poor. There is a trend of reduction from the point of richness to poor, and from the point of poor to raise to rich. Rich comes from the poor, and sometimes poor may find themselves rich as the way rich may find themselves poor. The kind and effects of tragedies, but character related, as especially brings these trends. If we are rich, can't we be rich forever and for real, creating the rich generation And as well, if we are born poor, can't we create the richness generation, as the rich is the point where people are going, is the point where people are fighting to reach. It is a big concern to everyone. This dilemma made me, in this historical background of this nation and the world at large, made me to think about this kind when we say it is street children and we go to the street, we find that they are street children, really. And these street children are coming from poor. But when we go inside the mind, we find there is another category of street children lying there. Though they are not coming from poor, they are street children. They are street children. These street children, kind of people, they are not the real street children, as they cannot sleep at the street, but they are in street children skin. It made me to wonder if these dangerous drugs, cannabis, marijuana, they are expensive to be brought by these poor. But you find these rich people, these rich street children, are the ones who buys, and they are from your great families. Finding no one to point a finger at who, but we should point the finger at ourselves. Why do we allow this kind to happen? It's through the activities that we play with, that we joke with, that we never take for that we take for granted. We never took it serious. But it is one of the reasons which is bringing these people from home to their street. All resources available, all resources properly utilized. No street children we can find, as well no prostitute we can find. If people are complaining of this kind of poverty, that it is the one which is making them to sell themselves, you may wonder if all poor are selling themselves. Majority of the world is living in poverty. But you may wonder why people are claiming to be poor. The only reason that brought them to the way they behave. It is terrible. This historical background of our country and the world cannot make us to cry, to sit and cry. It only gives us strength to carry on and go on. As this research is basically did for that kind of motivation, everyone who can read this kind can have the way better. I promise. I felt it my concern. The third was the passion of writing. The passion of writing came in secondary school. I had a dream of becoming this kind of a singer. But I used to compose my own songs, of which I changed the situation and I changed the way, as I found it was not good of my own way. That will lead me to success. My own success lied on something which was not traced to be in singing or being a songwriter. So I decided to change the character and substitute it with the character which may lead me to the way and the kind of the destination I was destined to be. Now these songs, I just simplified them, edited them to be good stories. And of the stories that were combined to become the project, Break the Slums and Make Street Children Angels. And now here it is, its first version, the Glamolous Ultimate. The Glamolous Ultimate. Now we go. This was the motivation, passion driven. I was to become a writer, whichever way it was to be taken, but I was to become a writer. Now it is now finished in this kind of style. Now objective. The objective of writing this book was to acknowledge the importance of good character in breaking slums and making people live in a fitting livelihood, of having a fair share of problems, not beyond repair kind of personal problems. This kind of fair share problems, people born, but they are born knowing that they are going to die. It's a fair share. This is our share. Death is our share. But the kind of created death is beyond repair problem. The importance of good character is to eliminate the created death, artificial death, but let us die natural. An example, cigarette is harmful to your life. You are just taking it. When this kind of death comes, it is a death created. It is artificial death, not the natural death. Sex intercourse. Sexual intercourse. It is only allowed to married men and married women. Married women and married men. But you may find this kind. No men are allowed to pray this kind. In an official way. You understand what I'm saying? Officially married to a certain woman, she is the only one you are allowed to pray sex with. But people has changed this one as a game where everyone prays sex with anyone. To the extent it has turned and it has changed its color. Now what is it now? And we understand when we pray this kind of sex, it brings problem, it brings death, AIDS, syphilis, whichever, but all are death created problems, and it is beyond repair, as it is repaired by much money. To repair the life, to give you back the life, it's much money. It's much money. It's the money which you can use to develop right, to invest for uncertainties, to hedge for impossibilities. Now it is taken by death created. You understand? This one was the objective. The second objective, awareness of final destination of a character and showing the process by which behaviors can grow and graduate to characters, and creating tactics to use in destroying disapproving grown character, and creating techniques how people can conserve and construct the most approved character that stand the challenging wide life. Here you understand behavior. We understand the character. simply something is started for the first time, for the first kind, for the first in its kind. It is done regularly. Each start is a behavior. It is its consecutive use, its consecutive or repetitive is a character. A man is defined by his activities, or else a woman is defined by his activities. Then the activities becomes a character to somebody. Like me, an accountant. I'm known as an accountant because I usually do this accounting work. And too known as an author. It's because I write, though I'm part-time writer. But I'm an author. Then again preaching this gospel of God around the churches or elsewhere. I'm a preacher. But then treating people. This one is the kind of profession character. Profession character. But there are other social characters. There are other individual characters. It is started just, but we don't know its destination. But here when you read the Glamolous Ultimate, you will understand the destination of your character, your own character, actually. Where are you destined to be when continuing doing the way you are behaving? Where are you going to be for the next matter of time? We understand, really. It is a tough thing to explain. It is something that people take for granted, but it is something with value. The value which creates dignity, or less value which forces you into depression. Now, the third one is to make people understand techniques of how to substitute behaviors and characters, and management of characters for effective product. We understand the character, but if we understand the character, or if we have never understood the character and we understand that the character we have will not take us anywhere, and ultimately the character has turned into us. It is now described as we. I started a behavior of smoking, now it developed to the character of smoking. When I don't smoke, when I don't take alcohol, or beer, or else, or marijuana, or any dangerous drug. I cannot sleep. And people knows me of my own character. They call me a punchy because I smoke marijuana. It's the local name we used to call, or we used to call these people, or a smoker because I smoke cigarette. Musinzi, the drunkard, because I irresponsible drunk, responsible taking alcohol. Musinzi. Now, the kind of character has turned into myself to the extent people has forgotten my name. They are calling me the way I behave. Which technique, if I have realized that this character will not take me anywhere, which technique am I going to use? Which technique am I going to use? How will I use it? How will it be feasible? Feasible. Actually, this is how we substitute, how this book teaches you to substitute, eliminate. Dangerous characters. You eliminate dangerous characters, substitute with very good characters. Techniques are there. Go and have this kind of book at Caritas, Library Caritas, Kigali City, and School Book Distribution, SBD, at Gishushu, just near gender monitoring offices. The fourth one is to teach youth. Youth, they need to stay positive. They need to stay positive and critical. They need to stay positive and critical. Youth, they need to stay positive and critical. And as well, keeping eyes open. Keeping eyes open. Youth. As any time, a behavior can be acquired and graduate to character. In that, it gives them a technique to check the approvability and disapprovability of the behaviors before graduating to characters. Youth, you understand the kind of people and the science of people, how people comes and how people goes, how people lives and how people dies. Most diseases, 80% of diseases are character related. Take an example. AIDS is a character of irresponsible sexual preying or sexual intercourse. Irresponsible. Malaria is a character disease. If we develop a character of not caring, the character of taking anything for granted, we end up suffering for many diseases. If we want to eliminate death, we have to keep our eyes open. We have to stay positive. We have to stay critical. Staying critical makes people to understand where they are coming from and where they are going and how they will reach where they are going. Misleading changes cannot take you when you are critical. You take a change, take an advantageous change. Exploit changes for your development, not for others' development. Take an example. Someone is announcing there is a concert. Yeah, well, it is good. When it cannot develop you for your concert, it is developing him, not you. What are you going to learn from the concert? Will it develop you? Will it develop your character? How will it develop you? We have to stay critical. Stay positive too. As well, keeping our eyes open. When we close the eyes, that's where we are taken where we don't know. Calling you for an offer, you have to understand where you are going. My friends, it is the kind of just staying critical. When you will read through this much, you'll be critical, you'll be positive, you keep your eyes open to take the correct judgment and take correct decision for your better future, meaning the glamorous ultimate, the happy ending. That was objectives, and we are coming back with the chapters and simple explanation for these chapters. It is a book composed of 8 chapters, but we are going to describe each chapter, the meaning and the reason for it. Thank you for watching. Thank you very much. He is Kagawa Hiro Awan, again, the author of. Thank you very much for watching.